Hello, my name is Ralph Davis. I'm with Streamline Roofing and Construction. Today is July 23rd, 2015. The Camilla City Manager asked me to come out and take a look at the current conditions of an airport building. And so I'm going to go through some things that are currently going on with this roof. As you can see, this roof is actually a R panel. Yeah, I believe it to be a Vulcan building. The R panel's in decent shape right now. This existing metal panel that's on there is a 3-foot wide exposed fastener screw down panel. It is not a standing seam. Standing seams have concealed fasteners. It looks to be in really good shape. You don't have any rusting going on. Now they do currently have a lot of leaks going on for some reason, so we investigated a little bit further into what the cause of those might be, and it was just for poor installation. The installation of this building was substandard. It really wasn't a very good job. Let me explain. As the fasteners are put down across the roof, you can come along and just all of a sudden you can find a hole right next to a screw where the installer just didn't take the time to make sure that they plug those holes, and this is occurring in 10 or 12 different locations that I've found all along this rake edge. The flashing was put on, and you can see that over and over again there's multiple holes right there by the screws, and it's just on and on. So all we'd really have to do to repair this, I wouldn't recommend putting a big coating or spending a bunch of money on putting coatings down or trying to put a new roof over this. I would just simply recommend coming in and patching those holes with a sealant like a Dow Corning 791 gray sealant. It's a 20-year sealant. It would stick and adhere to this panel as clean as it is. I'd solvent wipe it and then come in and do a real neat little caulk job on each of those holes and fix it up real quick. The next issue is that these vents might be leaking, and one of the reasons I think they are leaking is if you look down through the vent, one of the caulk beads inside the vent is actually deteriorating, and if that caulk bead fails, on the other end you can see it, there's caulk beads that are actually coming out and just dry rotted and actually falling apart. If that caulk bead fails, then these center vents will leak down into the main hole of the vent and cause leaking. The main area that they're having problems, I went inside and walked around towards the corner. One of the offices is getting wet. It's probably causing the owner the most pain. You can see over here at the ridge we have a deteriorated cap. Now that's just a plastic piece they put on, and that metal goes up, but you can see that the caulk and sealant is dry rotted, probably due to the extreme temperatures. Now the installer also, when drilling in the side flashing, if you look very, very closely, you'll see there's holes right beside almost every one of these screws, and that's going to let water get in right around those purlins. I apologize for any wind disruption we've got going on. But where most of their leaks are is down in this corner, and sure enough, I'm sure water is tacking right along this edge and actually finding its way into each one of these screw holes. And so all we really need to do is pull this flashing up. I would say pull that flashing up, put new putty tape and sealant underneath it, screw it back down, and then actually seal it with a really good bead of sealant all the way down. So these repairs shouldn't take more than 2 men one day to come up here and really just go over the entire roof and kind of find all these little spots. I would do that before I'd spend any kind of money in any kind of major re-roof project. The only thing I will add is that the gutters are rusting right now. You could stop the oxidation in that gutter by coming in with like an elastomeric sealant at the bottom of the gutters. The elastomeric sealant, as you can see, the residue coming off of this roof is making that the gutter rust, and some of the gutter brackets. What you could do is put an elastomeric sealant and stop that rusting in its tracks, kind of slow it down. Otherwise this gutter is going to continue to leak, and then you'll have perforations in the gutter in a few years. So while you're addressing these other issues, it might behoove us to go ahead and give you a price to maybe put some elastomeric sealant, rust inhibitor in the bottom of those gutters to try and prevent that from occurring additionally. So that wraps it up up here. I believe everything else is in pretty good shape. The exterior of the building seems like everything's battened down. Again, this is Ralph Davis. This is Ralph Davis with Streamline Roofing and Construction out of Tallahassee, Florida. You can find us online at www.streamlineroofing.com. Thank you very much. Have a great day.